Hi everybody, welcome to Dream Whiskies. This is day one, really exciting time, day one of our Advent calendar promotion. So welcome anyone that's here, and we've got some cool stuff lined up for you over the next 24 days. So the fact that we're starting this now means that we are ready and rolling, and we are running all the way up to Christmas. So we will have something entirely different for you every day. So it could be that we're sharing some cool information. We might have a code for you. We might be giving away some bonus entries to our main competition. We also might have some live giveaways as well. Sometimes we have some cool videos to share with everyone. So some days it's going to be something for all of you. Other days it's going to be something for one lucky person that's watching us live. So stick with each broadcast, because regardless of what we do through that broadcast, I'll also be telling you what time the next day, the next broadcast is going to be. So here we are, number one, the first one. And we've decided to start softly for you and give you something which is for everyone, but something you wouldn't necessarily be able to get hold of yourself. I'm going to be sharing with you one of my exclusive cocktail recipes, something that you can make for you and your family over Christmas. When I say family, obviously make sure they're drinking age. That's just a disclaimer there. Yeah, for you and your family, it's something great to do with whiskey. So that is our gift for today. But stay with us, because by the end I'm going to tell you what's happening tomorrow, and tomorrow's sort of quite exciting as well. And I'll give you the timings for tomorrow as well. So here we go. The cocktail recipe that I have for you today is an old-fashioned, but not a regular old-fashioned. It's what I call an Ardmore chocolate orange old-fashioned. And I'm going to take you through it. Just to say this, any ingredients that I use are widely available. If it's difficult to get hold of, I would tell you exactly where to get it. But if you don't have anything that I'm using, just Google it and you'll find 100 different places where you can get it. So everything is widely available. So here we go. This is what we're going to do to make this Ardmore chocolate orange old-fashioned. Now, the first thing you need is some sugar. In this case, a sugar cube. And we're using sugar cubes because traditionally, that's what we use to make old-fashions. I'm going to put the sugar cube into my rocks glass, or my old-fashioned glass. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is take some bitters. Now, the first thing I'm going to use is this kind of bitters. And I say the first thing is because I've got some other bitters to use later on. And these are orange bitters. These ones are Angostura orange bitters. There are other brands out there, but orange bitters is what we want. And I'm going to add a few dashes. So I've actually put in about 5 or 6. Don't know if you can see it properly on the screen there. And then I'm going to take some of my whiskey, and I'm just going to pause to tell you what I'm using. So I'm using this Ardmore Legacy. It's a Highland whiskey, single malt whiskey. And this one is a sort of lightly peated whiskey, and that's because I want a bit of peat coming through it. But it's also relatively rounded, and it's sort of fruity as well. So it works really well with this chocolate orange old-fashioned. So you can use other whiskies. You don't have to go out and buy a bottle of Ardmore Legacy. But this recipe, I'm using Ardmore Legacy. So I'm just going to drop a little bit in there with the sugar. And the reason is that I want to help that sugar dissolve. Now I'm going to get my bar spoon, and on the end of my bar spoon, I've got a little disc here. If you don't have a bar spoon with a disc, you can use a pestle or anything really that's going to help you crush up the sugar. So what I'm doing is just giving it a tap. I've now broken the sugar down, and I'm going to start really stirring it in with a little bit of whiskey that's in there, and of course the orange bitters. And in a way, I'm helping it to dissolve, and I'm creating a sort of syrup, really, like a whiskey alcoholic syrup, which smells of those wonderful orange bitters that I put in there. Okay, we've got some more stirring to come, so just tap that off. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of ice to this. So go to my ice chest, and I'm going to put in 2 or 3 pieces of ice. And then I'm going to get one of these. This is a maraschino cherry, which I've been reliably informed maraschino is the right way to pronounce it, even though I've been calling it maraschino for years. But maraschino cherry. I'm going to take the cherry, I'm going to give it a squeeze because I want some of that little cherry juice to go into the drink. And then I'm going to drop the cherry in. Let's put the jar back. And then I'm going to take some more whiskey. And we love whiskey, don't we? And we're going to pour the whiskey up around about to the level of the ice. And then we're going to stir again. So back in with my spoon. And now what I'm doing is obviously I'm stirring the orange bitters, the cherry that we've now added and the juice that came from it, the sugar, and of course the whiskey, plus By stirring, I'm helping everything to mix, and the ice, of course, is helping it to chill. And actually, to a degree, the amount of stirring you do influences how much of that ice turns to water and becomes part of the drink. So that's probably enough for now. I can see my glass starting to frost up. Next thing I'm going to do is go back to my ice chest and add a few more pieces of ice. So let's get 1, 2. I mean, your ice, how much you put in really depends on the size of the ice. There we go. I put another 4 pieces of ice. Let's just bring that forward again. Now I'm going to add the second lot of bitters, and this is what adds the chocolate. I've got some Fee Brothers Aztec chocolate bitters. They are really powerful on the chocolate aroma. Incredible, really. So I'm going to add those now. Like I say, you can look these up. You can buy them easily, and if you don't want Fee Brothers, there are other chocolate bitters out there. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, which matches around about the 5 or 6 that I put in of the orange bitters as well. A little more whiskey in there because we need to bring the drink up. We don't want any half measures, up to about the level of the ice. And then we're going to stir again. So now we're stirring the sugar, obviously the ice, the cherry that I put in, the orange bitters, and the chocolate bitters, and of course our Ardmore whiskey. So again, blending all those flavors, cooling it down, making sure that everything's lovely and smooth, and of course chilling, and to a degree diluting as well. There we go. All right, almost there. Last thing I'm going to do as far as the ice is concerned is put some more in. So I'm going to put another 2 or 3 pieces of ice in. There we go. I'm going to bring the whiskey back up to the top where that ice is. Remember, I suppose I don't need to say this, but you do not want to drink one of these and then drive home, or drive anywhere, or drive someone mad. You just want to make sure you drink this, sit down, and just enjoy the experience. And then we need a little more flavor in there. So down here, I've got a clementine, or you can use a tangerine, or in actual fact, you can use an orange, but I'm using a clementine really. And I'm just going to cut a small piece off the side of my clementine. So let me show you here what I've done. Oops, let me get that in my hands. So let me show you, I've just cut that small piece off the side. That's the bit that I want to use. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a little squeeze. You can see there's still some flesh inside there. And I'm going to drop some of that juice into my old fashioned. I'm then going to take the skin side and just rub it around the inside of the glass. When you do that, what happens is you end up with the oil sticking to the side of the glass, and it gives sort of that wonderful citrusy aroma as well. I'm just going to tuck that in. We've now got everything that we need in there. I'm going to put my spoon back into the glass and give it a final stir. So now we're stirring the sugar, the whiskey, of course, the Angostura orange bitters, the Aztec chocolate bitters, the ice, this maraschino cherry, and of course the clementine juice that we put in before. It may look like a very large glass of whiskey, but all those subtle little flavors are what adds to this drink and rounds it off to turn it into our Ardmore chocolate orange old fashioned. And we are done. So quick cheers. Let's have a little taste. Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. Oh God, that is absolutely gorgeous. If you're a whiskey drinker and you normally just drink your whiskey straight, or maybe with a splash of water, and you want to do something different with it, start with something like this. Absolutely amazing cocktail. So look, that is our cocktail for today. Before I tell you what time our Advent Calendar broadcast is tomorrow, I just want to quickly remind you, if you like these cocktail videos, the new Patreon page that we've set up, I'm doing some exclusive content there, which is just for our patrons. So if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, obviously I'm doing a few as we go through to Christmas. But going forward and into next year, if you want to see more of that sort of stuff, check out our Patreon page. Become one of our patrons. I've put the link in the description. But in the meantime, that's day 1. Tomorrow is day 2, and we're going to do a live giveaway tomorrow. I will be giving away a small little gift, an Advent gift, to one of you watching live. So you don't want to miss the live broadcast. Make sure you are on our Facebook page tomorrow at 3 p.m. That is 3 p.m. UK time. 3 p.m. UK time. We're going to give something away live for Advent number 1. We're done. Cheers. See you tomorrow.